Hari Om. I hope you're all having a lovely day. I'm Radhe, and my intention today is to give you some nadi shodhana, alternate nostril breathing pranayama practice. And with this technique, it is safe for most people, especially the basic simple versions. But if you do have medical conditions such as high blood pressure and heart ailments, you would not go on to advanced versions or versions where you are holding the breath for too long, holding it in, holding it out, etc. You would stay with very simple flowing practice that makes you feel comfortable and makes the nervous system feel relaxed and probably lowers the blood pressure, if anything, rather than tending to sometimes take it up if you do too much holding. So I thought we'd start with some seated pre-pranayama practices. Usually these are done standing with the feet leg length or closer. And if they're leg length apart, it could be that you might want them even a touch wider when you do the third one, which is swinging forward. So when we get to those, feel free to stand up to do them. I'm going to stay seated. Okay, thank you. So we'll begin by closing the eyes, sitting in any comfortable position. Legs could be crossed. You might be sitting back onto the feet, kneeling in Vajrasana, the Thunderbolt pose, or you might be sitting with the legs out straight. Make sure that you're comfortable. Close the eyes gently and begin to feel into the body. Feel that you're tall through the spinal column. Shoulders are relaxed back and down. The head should feel as if it's just lightly resting on the top of the neck, no tension. Chin's a little bit drawn in rather than jutting out. Whole body comfortable. Keep the shoulders dropped, keep the chest forward and open. Watch the breath as it moves in through the nostrils, filling the lungs, the abdomen expanding, then chest. Watch the breath as it empties back out the opposite way through the nostrils, abdomen gently relaxing inwards, then the chest gently relaxing inwards. Keep watching each and every in and out breath. Relaxed, natural rhythm. And now gently letting go of watching the breath when you next breathe out. Let the breath continue flowing without following it. Feel the whole body sitting. And then when you're ready to, gently opening the eyes. And we're going to go on to the pre-pranayama exercises that I mentioned. I'm going to do them seated, but you may stand up with the feet apart, leg length, hip width, if you wish to. If you're seated, for the first one, just sitting and gently crossing the wrists in front of the abdomen, as you would do if you're standing. And then as you breathe in, slowly take the arms out to the sides, filling the lungs, stretching up and recrossing the wrists above the head. Once the breath is in, slowly start to let it out as you lower the arms down. When they come around to the front, recrossing the wrists. You can do these with your eyes closed if you wish to. Breathing in again, coming up into the raised arm position, activating the lungs on the way up, and then breathing out. Feel as if the arms are floating down on the out breath. Another 3 in your own time. If you're still practicing, then finish the round that you're on and then sit or stand comfortably, ready to go on to the second pre-pranayama exercise. This one involves some arching back at the top, just gently, and that will activate the very top of the chest a bit more than the last one did. And then when you breathe out, you're going to have the hands in front of the abdomen and contract. Draw the abdomen in when the breath is all out and drop the chin. When you're ready to breathe in, you release the abdomen, release the chin, start to go into the next round. Arms come straight up from the front, but they start and finish at the same place as the first one. So as you breathe in, raising the arms up from the front, separate them to shoulder width or a bit wider and arch back just a touch, opening the very top of the chest. As you breathe out, straighten the body, start to recross the wrists and lower them as you go down. When the breath is out, pull the stomach in, drop the chin. Just holding for a few seconds until you need to breathe in, release the bottom contraction in the stomach, release the chin lock, and then breathing in, going on to your next round. Continue with 4 more at your own pace. If you're still practicing, continue. And when you have finished, just sitting and watching the breath quietly, or standing if you're standing, arms relaxed. Feel into the whole body. And with these techniques, it is quite normal for the lungs to get quite stirred up. Sometimes you need a little sip of water or a cough. So always feel free to pause and do either of those things if you need to. That last one pushes all the air out of the lungs even more if you contract around the abdomen and stomach before you put the chin lock on. It will help force any remaining air out of the lungs, although there'll always be a little bit in there. And then the chin lock keeps the energy locked between those points, keeps the breath out, and adds to the intensity of the practice. So always feel free to alter or to reduce the number of rounds, or even leave altogether if you are not feeling comfortable with it. And the third one is the one where you can swing down. We can do this seated. Now, if you've had the legs crossed and they've always been crossed the one way for the first 2, you might want to cross them with the one that was underneath on top, just to alter the effect in the sacrum for the final one. But feel free to stay as you are if you're comfortable. When you're standing to do this, you might even want to bend the knees a little bit to help protect the lower back when you swing down. We don't arch back, because going quickly from arch back to forward, sometimes too much on the back and on the effect in the head, can make you feel a bit dizzy. So we tend to just stretch straight up and have the hands flopping forward at the wrists to discourage arching back. So we'll start with the hands in front of the body without crossing the wrists this time, just in front of the thighs or on the knees if you're sitting. And then as you breathe in, stretching up, hands floppy, we're going to let the breath out with a through the mouth and do a few little half swings when we're down. And then breathe in again. Through the nostrils, out through the mouth with a ha. 3 more if you can manage it. If it's making you feel too lightheaded, leave it. after the last one, just gently uncurl up on an in-breath, not having to stretch up with the arms unless you already have, and then just relax the arms if you've got them up. Don't bother swinging forward, breathing out and sitting or standing comfortably. And if you are standing, now is where you would sit down again. If you can, sit in Vajrasana, the thunderbolt posture, kneeling with the thighs against the calves, or even on a meditation stool. And if you're kneeling with the thighs against the calves, you might have the buttocks on the insteps, heels apart, right big toe crossed over the left. If you cannot do that posture, of course, any other seated pose that's comfortable. And we're going to do the breath balancing pose, because this is also ideal to do before alternate nostril breathing. So sitting comfortably, and we're going to cross the wrists in front of the body and place the fingertips into the opposite armpits, like so. And the thumb is out to the front against the body, fingertips gently pressing into the armpit. It's a little bit like you're squeezing between the thumb and the forefinger and just putting a little bit of pressure on the armpit. Now simply watch the breath in and out through the nostrils. Relaxed breath. If you're a little bit stirred up after doing the swinging pre-pranayama that we've just done, it will take a little while for the breath to settle, so simply watch it as it is. Never try and control it when we're just doing the simple practices. Watching natural breath in through the two nostrils up to the eyebrow center, the Bhumadhya, the point that is a trigger point for Ajna behind it, the pineal gland. And then on the out breath, watching the breath separate from this point at the eyebrow center and flow back down the nostrils. Keep a little bit of pressure on the armpits without making it painful. Just feeling that the fingers are there and the thumbs are in front. And then gently letting go of the breath awareness, be aware of the body and lower the hands. And just feel into the whole body. And you could have, of course, done a longer asana posture session before you sat down to do this. Now we're just going to do 5 rounds of very simple alternate nostril breathing. And it's good to use a count if you want to even up the breath. When you're first learning, you might want to have the same amount of time for the in and the out breath. After you've practiced that for a while, you can increase the time of both. And then after some time of doing that, you can do twice as long for the out breath as the in. So say you'd started at 5 for the count, built up to 10, keep keeping them even. When you go to doing twice as long for the out breath as it is for the in, you might drop back to 5 for the in, 10 for the out, because it would be way too difficult to do 10 in, 20 out for most of us. Unless, of course, you're used to doing ratios already. So I'll count 1 Om, 2 Om, 3 Om, 4 Om, 5 Om. You can count that silently in your head when you are doing it. You can slow it a bit from what I just said if you need to. And of course you can do a shorter count like a 3 or a 4 if 5 is too long. So sitting comfortably, spine straight, placing the forefinger and middle finger of the right hand onto the eyebrow center. We're going to use the thumb to gently close the right nostril by pressing on the flap, and when we're closing the left nostril, it will be the ring finger gently pressing on the flap. Each round is in through the left, out through the right, in through the right, out through the left, so you end up back where you started, and we're doing approximately 5 of those. First of all, taking a full breath in and out gently through both nostrils, quietly if you can. Gently close the right nostril with the thumb on the flap, breathing in through the left, 1 Om, 2 Om, 3 Om, 4 Om, 5 Om. Close with the ring finger, open the right. 1 Om, 2 Om, 3 Om, 4 Om, 5 Om. That was totally out. In through the right. 1 Om, 2 Om, 3 Om, 4 Om, 5 Om. Close with the thumb, open the left out. 1 Om, 2 Om, 3 Om, 4 Om, 5 Om. Lower the hand, take a breath in and out. Now, my counting, of course, might have been a little bit uneven, or it could have been too long for you. And, of course, there were the slight pauses on the in and out. Don't make those too long. And carry on with another 4 rounds in your own time when you're ready, counting silently for yourself. Reduce it if you need to. Continue if you're still on around, and when you get to breathing out through the left nostril, please finish the practice, even if you haven't done a total of 5 rounds. If you're finding this really comfortable, you can increase to 10 rounds more quickly, and you can increase the length of count from 3 or 4 or 5, as you might have used today, up to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that is a simple alternate nostril practice. And as I said, you don't want to get into advanced ratios if you have health problems such as heart conditions and high blood pressure. But you can work towards more intermediate and advanced practice as you progress. It does take quite some time though, and it's normally done every day to get more used to it. And then you'll find that your breath capacity increases, and your mind and your nervous system can handle the effects. Sitting comfortably, just watch the breath in and out through both nostrils for a little while. Inverted V-shaped breath. Now for a little while, just watching whatever thoughts or images may be inside the Chittakash, the mind space, and behind the forehead. Watching with the eyes still closed, you're using your internal awareness through a lot of this kind of yoga. Maybe just darkness, be relaxed within that. It's your own private meditation sanctuary. Witnessing. Observer, not participant. And now I'll ask you to just gently leave the watching. Sometimes it takes a while to withdraw from that space where you've gone inward and more deep. Just come out gradually, still sitting still, eyes closed, and feel the breath at the base of the nostrils. The air coming in is generally cooler than the air leaving, so feel a temperature difference in the breath. Cool coming in, warm as it leaves at the base of the nostrils. And then gently letting go of that breath awareness in the nostrils. Feel the whole body sitting and gently expanding on the in-breath, relaxing inwards on the out-breath. Whole body sitting within the room that you are placed in, within the building that you are placed in, within the outside space that you are placed in, the surroundings around your building. Try and expand the awareness out a little bit, hear any outside sounds. And the practice is coming to a close. Make sure you're aware of the body seated in the room, breath within the body, sounds and surroundings, touch of the air on your skin, touch of the breath inside the lungs, whole body seated. And we're going to practice Om together 3 times to finish. You can do this silently if you're not used to chanting the Om out loud, but I will do it out loud. So taking a big breath in. Om. Again. That's it. Thank you for spending this time with me. It has ended up about 20 minutes instead of 15. And do remember, you can adjust anything to suit you. You can even do the breath balancing pose just under one armpit if it's one nostril that's blocked. Left armpit for the right nostril flow, right armpit for the left nostril flow. Thank you very much and happy practicing. Have a lovely day.